Hi girls and gays. The past 2 weeks have been really hellish. I felt really unaccomplished, unproductive, low self-worth, kind of useless, really lazy, and that's my fear. Like, being lazy is a big fear I have. I think this is something a lot of people struggle with. And so I wanted to talk about productivity and how we can make it work for us and engage in productivity and outputs in a much more healthy way that doesn't leave us feeling overworked or really underaccomplished, that we want to work in the middle and not feel any of those two extremes. Regardless of how much time you have in a day, I think we all still feel guilty about how little we feel like we're doing. These are just some methods I implemented yesterday to feel much better about myself because I was feeling so bad. So I hope that these resonate. So my situation is that I work for myself. I do voiceovers online on a website called Fiverr, which you can make decent side money and a full living off of that website. My sister's a full-time voiceover artist, so that's how I got into it. That's my only income stream at the moment. I used to work with a company doing TV production, but that's like on hold for now, so I have one stream of income. So all my expenses would be covered by $1,300, and on this platform I've made $200. So I'm like, okay, so I'm short of all the money. When you are short of money, and you're not being productive, you can really feel like a piece of shit because you're like, every minute, every second, I'm not hustling and making contacts and emailing and trying to get work. I'm taking food out of my own mouth. So that's how I felt during this week of non-productivity. I really am serious about this content, about my Instagram, my YouTube. I'm writing a book. I'm trying to get my work published. So my dream is to create content that uplifts and inspires and makes people think deeply about their lives and feel super capable, and that's what I do, but it's not making me money. So when I spend time editing a YouTube video when I could have been emailing somebody to get a paid writing gig, there's guilt associated. So this video is for anyone who has that kind of guilt. Number one, I had to remind myself it is okay to have off days. It is okay to have off weeks. It is okay to have off months. We're not Duracell bunnies. We're not machines on an assembly line. And our value is intrinsic. I am valuable because I am, not because I produce, not because of my outputs. And we have to really center ourselves in that. Capitalism is a perpetually turning wheel. It wasn't built to humanize people. It wasn't built to make you feel intrinsically valued. So you cannot tie all of your value to outputs. You can still be productive and appreciate and value work and outputs, but still not tie your intrinsic sense of self to your outputs. That's very hard, especially when how much you work is how much you earn is how much you eat, which is me. So I reminded myself, wait, I'm still that bitch. I haven't done anything for a week. I am still that bitch. And that is just something you have to tell yourself. So that's number one. Number two, I asked myself, why don't I want to work? And my reasons were, I'm overwhelmed. I don't want to send 100 emails today. I don't want to record my voice today. You have to write down why you don't want to work to really identify what it is, because it's often not the work itself you're running away from. It might be fear of rejection. It might be that you're afraid to fail. So you need to really understand what is putting you off of being productive. Number three, which is my favorite, is make a checklist. What are all the things that the most productive you would do tomorrow? So I wrote 21 things that I would have to do tomorrow, all the things I need to do. And so I ended up crossing off 11. I did 11 things yesterday. And the reason having a checklist is so important is that once you write down everything you need to do, you can start to chip away at the easiest things, the things that are the most joyful, the things that are easy to you. You need to prime today for a successful tomorrow. If you have 20 things on your to-do list, that is really overwhelming. Why don't you do one today, or two, or three? And what happens is it gains momentum. You actually realize when you start the one simple task, you're like, hey, this isn't that bad actually. I've done this one thing, let me just do the other. And then you end up doing 5 or 10 or more. And that means the next day is much easier and you've given traction to working. It is so important to recognize that everything gains momentum. Negative energy, feeling down and depressed, feeling sad, feeling unworthy, it gains momentum. So feeling productive and being productive also gains momentum. So if you can be productive today, then the next day is going to be much easier, because if you think that you'll sleep off your unproductivity and the next day you'll start afresh, you absolutely won't, because you've not primed that day, you've not started the momentum. So start today. What I did was at 6 p.m. I started my checklist and I finished at 8, and then I could go to bed with that fresh feeling of productivity. An important thing with that checklist, it doesn't matter what is on there. Really simple things to really difficult things. So I did all the simple things. I checked for the movies, I folded my laundry, I cleaned my room, and then all of a sudden I was emailing for jobs. It became easy because I'd done the laundry. I felt productive. I had that momentum of work ethic and feeling good about myself that I went to LinkedIn, I researched companies, and instead of sending one email, which was on my list, I sent 3. So I felt so accomplished. A really important step is not to panic. It's been the second week that I've been feeling bad. In the first week, I wasn't panicked. I was doing nothing. I was on my couch, I think watching some series on Netflix. As much as I was sad, I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel guilty. That's because I've come to realize, and this is something my friend said, is that life is a series of expansions and contractions. So you'll be really happy, then really sad, then really happy, then really sad. And once you embrace that everything has its opposite, you're not so shaken by the opposite that doesn't feel like it's serving you. So basically, when I know I'm on a high, I know that, probably in a few weeks I'll be on a low. And then when the low comes, it's casual, because I know life will always be like that. Definitely embrace the ups and the downs. Embracing doesn't mean be excited for the downs, but it means you don't have to be shaken to your core every time you have a down. It's kind of like your period. You're a bit moody. You're like, why are my friends acting like this? Why is my family so annoying? Why am I eating so much? Why is my stomach so huge right now? Why do I just feel uncomfortable? Why do I have stomach aches? And then you have your period and you're like, it was that. So if you knew your period was coming, which I don't at this big age, I still don't know, you wouldn't be as shaken by your shift in mood. So similarly, if you know a contraction is coming, you won't be so shaken by it. And finally, one thing that is so important that I always do when I'm feeling good, but hardly do when I'm feeling bad, is gratitude. That might look like prayer. That might look like writing down what you're grateful for, what you're thankful for, thanking in advance what you're about to get, whatever else you're hoping to attract. It is so easy to be thankful when you're all good, but it is so hard to be thankful when you're miserable. And again, it's about momentum. So I stopped writing in my gratitude journal when I was doing really well. I just stopped. And I knew, I was like, Mukundwa, in the back of my head, I was like, there's going to be a contraction soon, and because you've stopped the habit, the discipline of saying thank you, you're going to be in shit because you don't have that positive energy to carry you through the contraction. And I don't. So I've had to start again with my gratitude. I bought a new journal, and I've taken pictures and I've put them on my journal and I laminated it. For love, because I want to do everything out of love. Purpose, successful, by Mukundwa, because bitch, I'm an author. And then finally what I've started doing, I'm reading an incredible book about, it's called Angel Answers, and this woman channels angels and she talks to them, and these are the answers they've given about just shit on earth. So it's about karma, it's about soul's purpose, about death, about disability, about everything you could imagine, all the questions basically a human would ask an angel or God if they could. And one of the things they said was water transmutes negative energy. And if you think about it, you can never enter a body of water and come out more upset, more irritated, more negative than you entered. When you have a bath, you don't leave more upset than you entered it. When you have a long shower, when you go in the ocean or swim, you just feel so good, and it's because water transmutes bad energy. I have a cup of water that I put by my bed, and what it does is it takes all of the negative energy and transmutes it. It absorbs it from you, and then you don't pour it in your plants, don't pour it in anything living because that's your trash energy. Pour it in the sink. But it works, and what I love about these kinds of hacks is that whether you think they are scientifically true or false, if you believe it, that's placebo, bitch. If you believe putting some jelly tots by your bed will take away your bad energy, Bitch, put the jelly tots there. Like, just do whatever you need to do, whatever. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Don't beat yourself up if you have down moments. You are a human, so just look after yourself and listen to your body. You're not a machine. You are intrinsically valuable. Yes. Let me know what you think. Do you have other methods of feeling productive, being productive, not blaming yourself when you're not productive? Just tell me like all the things you do, because I think everybody needs to hear. And let me know what you want me to talk about next. But love you all, girls and gays and everybody in between. Bye. I don't know how to end these.